That chirping sound you heard a second ago, don't ignore it and hope it goes away. It's something you want to stay on the ball with if you have a Suzuki Forenza, because it could signify a common failing for this model, a bad harmonic balancer. To get a better look at the belt, I'm removing the air box. 4 Phillips screws hold the top down, and 2 bolts, a 10mm and the other a 12, hold the bottom. The question is the noise coming from the belt or is it coming from the pulleys? To answer that question, you could perform the classic spray test, which involves lightly misting the underside of the belt with a little bit of water. I've also seen mechanics use a stethoscope to locate squeaking sounds. The belt itself is fairly new. No cracking or fraying. And the belt tension is good too. The problem is most likely with one of the pulleys. This is the alternator. It's new and I don't see anything out of the ordinary. This is the belt tensioner. It looks good on first glance. The AC pulley has some side-to-side movement that concerns me a little, but the noise isn't coming from there. It's coming from somewhere down below. Even with the belt still on, I feel a lot of lateral movement from side to side. For more evidence, let's remove the belt and see if there's any additional play. I'm using a 15mm box wrench on the tensioner pulley bolt. You want to turn the tensioner clockwise and remove the belt. The harmonic balancer is trash. I'm removing the harmonic balancer, beginning with the 4 6mm hex bolts. Now we can remove the 17mm center bolt. Sometimes you can grab the harmonic balancer and pull it off by hand, and it will slide right off, without having to use a special pulley puller tool. But ours is so mangled, I'm going to pry it off with a pry bar. Just don't pry against the timing belt cover. if you do it this way. The rubber bond deteriorates over time, and this is what happens. The outer ring came off. With our new harmonic balancer, the outer ring is bonded all the way around the center hub with a new, strong rubber seal. The keyway should line up with the notch on the pulley. You can barely see the notch at this angle. It's above the hex bolt, but those have to be lined up. The keyway is the slot you see machined into the end of the crankshaft. By chance, if you don't align the keyway and the notch, you'll know it because the hex bolts won't line up with the holes. The holes will be a little off, and you won't be able to screw the bolts in without stripping them out. The bolts should screw in easily when everything is lined up the way it should be. If you don't have an impact wrench for the hex bolts, you'll need a way to hold down the pulley while you torque the screws. I'm using a strap wrench here. Turning the crankshaft brings the top hex bolt down into reach, and we can now torque it down. The belt's back on, and now we can start up the engine and test out our new harmonic balancer.